You're listening to Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast.
Oh my God. Listen up, ragamuffins. We encourage each and every one of you to drink deeply from the cup that is Fair Riverdale.
Your hosts, Michael, Jordan, Cliff, and Seth.
Hello. Brian of Ka-Pow. Welcome to Thistle House. Shove it, Hal.
We're back with more Riverdale. It's your friends at Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast. My name's Jordan Lowe.
Cliff Barnes.
I'm Seth. This is the test, you know. We're putting out these Riverdale episodes and just like getting rid of separating the chaff from the wheat.
Feels like the old days when it was nothing but Riverdale.
Oh.
Wall to wall Dale.
Cracked a beer, you know it's time to talk some Riverdale. You gotta have a little bit of medicine to get in the right vibe for this. Guys, it's crazy stuff. This I had to push the podcast a little tonight. I was like, I'm having to pause the screen too many times to find the. It feels like the old days is right. Back, you used to watch a Riverdale episode. There was plenty of stuff in the background that really like was fulfilling. You know, like wow, they really put stuff here. There was a little bit of that in this episode that you could not just watch the show and catch it at all. So that's what I want. I want to yarn wall Riverdale. I want to look for the details and the conspiracy theories. I want to find another Dilton stabbed himself theory. I'm looking for it.
And we want you to follow along with every instant.
Where are we at? Where do we leave off?
Oof. We're still in season 6, episode 9, chapter 104, The Serpent, Queen's Gambit.
So, usually a movie reference. This is a Netflix series reference, right? Queen's Gambit. Oh,
which was timely back when this.
Back then, that's around that time.
Episode first actually aired.
We're a little behind, so we work on our own timeline. People, feel free. My suggestion, if you even watch, it's unnecessary. First off, to watch Riverdale to enjoy this podcast, but if you do, just go and watch it now because you'll remember this, and it'll be like a little surprise, you know, as you hear us recap it because we get pretty detailed.
Borrow somebody's Netflix password.
Yeah.
Log in.
Totally cool to do.
Watch it for free because Netflix loves it.
And then go, you know, then text them and say you need them to put in a password. They'll love it. Do it every time. So we started off at the Andrews house with Archie bursting in the door with a toboggan on for some reason.
Oh, hell no.
When I was back then.
Right.
He was running. He was out running.
In jeans, a shirt, and a toboggan, a really small, tight toboggan. Like, I don't know. Just seemed very odd to me. I don't know. And in there, we got Uncle Frank and Percival Pickens.
What are you doing in my house? Archie, don't be rude.
I was just talking to your uncle about the townwide census I'm conducting.
Census? Under what authority?
With council approval. Well, Alice and Frank's. I can assure you the questions are standard. How long have you lived in Riverdale? What problems are you most concerned with in your neighborhood? And people's answers will help guide the council. And of course, I'll get to meet my neighbors. Door by door. Face by face. Tell me, Archie, would you like to answer some questions?
No, I would not. And I'd like you to leave. Now.
He wants to take a census, and he tells Archie, I think we should take a census, ask people how long they live there, any problems, complaints they have. He's like, tell me, Archie, would you like to answer some questions? He's like, very stoically, no, I would not.
I want to punch those questions.
Exactly. He's that's what was going through his mind. All I want to do is punch you. It's like, leave now. Uncle Frank was very shocked at his behavior. I was like, are you? You live there.
Yeah.
Like, he acts like this all the time.
So disappointed in Uncle Frank.
And the thunder. I mean, come on.
Oh, she's been pissing me off for many episodes.
At least we have mind control to blame.
Yeah.
Sure.
Go to Riverdale Cemetery. Every time we go there, all I could think is
the cheerleader.
the cheerleader burial. That whole performance is a classic. The purple and black uniforms with the hoodies. Good times.
Every cheerleader squad should have funeral uniforms.
Yeah. Every funeral
should have a
cheerleader squad. So we got Britannia. She's telling Mistress Abigail how damp and chilly it is. Let's go home. Have some tea. They're at Thomasina Topaz's grave.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, see?
Still trying to bring her back.
Yeah, see, we got Cheryl's like, no, I got to reincarnate TT into TT's body.
Yeah.
So we got to get Thomasina Topaz into Tony to Antoinette Topaz's body.
How? I shall reincarnate Thomasina's soul into Tony Topaz's body. The blood moon will be rising soon, perfect time for reincarnation spell. And once my beloved is returned to me, together we will slay Fangs Fogarty and seal our love for all eternity.
And is Mr. Fogarty the only, enemy you wish to vanquish?
No, there are still the 3 descendants of my assassins. Come along, Britannia.
And the blood moon is rising soon, which is a perfect time for reincarnation spell. Then we'll slay Fangs Fogarty. Then we still need to kill the 3 descendants of my assassins. And I was like, let's go.
Remind me again. This was that this was that high school show about Love Triangle.
Yeah, this is all about Betty and Veronica and Archie.
Right, that's what I thought we were watching.
How they vie for his attention, and Jughead eats a lot of burgers.
Right. I forgot.
This is not your daddy's Riverdale. Okay, so we get a lodge, as I like to call it, probably the Pembroke. Reggie says that his dad wants to see the casino. He's kind of lost his mojo. See, Dad's having a rough time. Veronica says, "Leave it to me. I'll take care of it." They go to El Royale. It's time for another town meeting. Percival says the sheriff's office census is complete because he works for the sheriff's office now. He's deputy, as we illustrated in the last episode. We see Archie, Jughead, and Betty in the audience there. She's got sunglasses on and wearing all black.
Migraines.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, she's. I suppose that is it. She's. Do we ever have? I know we have a lot of duo names. Bughead, Blowpaths. Do we have a trio name? Because there's a lot of this trio. We got Archie, Jughead, and Betty. You think about that if you can come up with something. We got
Barchhead.
Barchhead. That's not bad. Barchhead. We'll go with it. So Pickens.
Jardy. No, that's not good.
Percival Pickens starts listing off. Well, first off, we have a no more unhoused problem. The homeless are gone. So check. That was a hit on the census. The biggest concern was the gangs. A lot of gang problems. Serpents and ghoulies. Miss Topaz is a member of the town council of 4. Who else is on the council of 4? Remind the audience.
Tabitha Tate.
Also a TT.
Uncle Frank. And the Thunder.
The Thunder, yeah. Alice Cooper. So we got, there's no gang war, TT says. Twyla Twist, it's the leader of the Ghoulies, and I are near a ceasefire.
I cannot remember where she came about.
I don't have any idea.
Because...
No idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Percival kind of orders, we got to disband the Serpents. I think you should disband the Serpents. You're on the Council of Four. This is kind of... It's unnecessary. After the meeting's over, Kevin brings baby Anthony in to Fangs and Tony. He's like, I hate that he's raised around gang culture. Like all of a sudden, this bothers Kevin.
Yeah.
That his mom is in a gang. Fangs and TT are like, just shut up, dummy. They were at Babylonium, the casino.
What's their trio name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Fangs.
Phew. It's gonna be a long episode. I don't know. We didn't even know if we had one for Fangs and TT.
I don't think we have.
Anyway, Veronica goes to Reggie's dad and's like, hey, introduces him to Ryan, their best dealer. It's like, why would they introduce Ryan? They usually only introduce these side characters if they're going to do something, but this guy never does anything in the episode, but he's his blackjack dealer. We go to the El Royale office where I already forgot it. Barchhead. Or sitting there, like some weird stuff happened, Archie said. And Betty's like, besides our mutant abilities. To remind the audience, It's like Percival Pickens.
I hate that.
Jughead's like, what? Jughead's like, well, he could probably... that you can pretty much assume that Archie says that every time you mention the guy. Jughead says he can probably control minds. Can we throw him in jail, Betty? You're the FBI.
Never forget, she is the FBI.
Yeah. He's like, Jughead says, Archie, since you're invulnerable, let's beat him up and break every bone in his body. Well, those are temporary solutions. We did all this stuff to the Ram, and it never worked.
That's true.
Yeah. The Ram being Veronica's father.
This Pickens guy's no Ram.
No. Not in
I think if you broke every bone in his body, he'd go away. Snap him like chicken bones. Pickens.
He could never wrestle a high school kid to a standstill.
Absolutely not. He'd never fill out the singlet like the Ram did.
Or go on to host the morning show.
Archie says, let's go around and talk to our friends and protect our town.
Which isn't a bad plan.
Yeah.
They
want to see who's being controlled.
Right.
Let's see if he's controlling anybody else and with their mind. And Jughead's like, relax, Professor X. We go to Thornhill.
Yeah, so that bugged me because earlier they're talking about this and Jughead calls it a classic superhero narrative. Like he's into it, defining it as like a superhero story. And then when Archie says something, he's like, shut up, Professor X.
Self-hating
no, wait,
nerd.
which is it?
Self-hating nerd.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. At Thornhill, they go there, Barchhead. And Archie says, was PP here?
Did he stop by to interview you?
For his census?
We got Cheryl is wearing this, like, black leather suit.
It looks like I don't know if it was leather, but it was tight.
Leather, and it was very like
shiny.
Catwoman without the stitches. She had a lot of costume changes in this episode, at least 10. So she's like, but I didn't take his census. A little trivia, Cliff. Why was she not able to take his census? She was unavailable.
She was taking a buttermilk bath and could not receive him.
Correct.
Yes, but I was taking a buttermilk bath, so I couldn't receive him. Why for?
I knew you would have took that note.
You're damn right I did.
We're worried that his intentions for Riverdale may not be above board.
We think he is recruiting people to his side.
For some nefarious agenda? Honestly, I'd be more worried about an angry mob dragging me into the forest in the middle of the night and burning me at the stake. As Archibald Andrews, Jedediah Jones, and Beatrice Cooper did to my ancestor.
Not this again.
Oh, but she's like, I'd be more worried of getting burned by the descendants of Archibald, Jedediah, and Beatrice. Jug, it's like, not this again.
Yeah, immediately. She's still on this. Like, come on.
They're like, what? Why are you talking like this, Cheryl?
Yes, again. That transgression hasn't been settled or forgotten.
Okay, will you just let us know if Percival tries to influence you in any way, and for what?
Regarding Mr. Pickens, I'll keep my own counsel as I always have. And as for you three, my patience and this audience is at an end.
Come on, Cheryl, we're the good guys.
Spoken like a true villain. Let me show you the door.
We're the good guys. Spoken like a true villain. They leave. Stoke the fires and heat the embers, Britannia. We're preparing arsenic-laced scones for that unholy trinity of self-obsessed malefactors. We need a corpse for my ritual.
Remind me again.
Reincarnation. TT in TT's body.
This is a show about kids and their jalopy.
Yeah. Fixing the
Going
jalopy.
for milkshakes, right?
Yeah. Reggie, Moose.
Right.
The Clumpster.
Good times. There used to only be a couple corpses in this show. Now it's like corpses on every episode.
Yep. What happened to Hot Dads of Riverdale? We're so far past this.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we get at the Pops parking lot. Some Serpent is coming out, getting their car, and a ghoulie drives by and guns him down with a Tommy gun.
She has a Tommy gun.
For real. Tabitha's like diving behind the counter. Bullets breaking windows and everything. Okay. Very next scene. She calls Tony Topaz. Like she almost died. She was diving to save her life. She calls Tony Topaz and says that the Thunder and Frank and Percival Pickens are using this drive-by as an excuse to like, it's playing it down like it was nothing.
Happens
It's an average weekday at Pop.
Yeah. They're using it as an excuse that they want to remove TT from the council because she's part of these gangs.
Just wipe the glass off the pancakes and move on.
Exactly. That's why they have pancake to-go boxes.
That's right. You can't get glass in them.
Amazing to-go box. At Lodge, we get Barchhead, and Veronica says she investigated Percival Pickens, and he did not exist before he got here. Like there is no Percival Pickens. And that she tells them that he said something to a client and that the guy killed himself, which we saw last episode. We go to the Andrews and they're talking and Jughead's like, okay, now can we beat this guy up? He's really wanting to do that. I've
been very patient.
This is shared Archie dialogue they had written, I think. Archie's like, how does he even have powers? He wasn't in the explosion. Or, that's a good question that possibly may never be answered on the show.
Questions that shouldn't be asked on the show itself. Like, don't bring it to a point that we notice and make us think about that.
Yeah. They all get a text from Tabitha, a group text, that they need to go to the El Royale. And they get in this golden elevator. So I guess they weren't in Andrews. They were probably still at lunch. Okay. At the El Royale, the Thunder gavels the meeting. Percival Pickens does a motion to remove TT. She gives a little speech about how she's a guidance counselor. She's raising baby Anthony here, which we all, pins and needles about baby Anthony. It goes to a vote, which of course she loses because the freaking Barchhead don't even come to vote. It was the few votes she would get. The only vote she gets is Tabitha. We see at the casino, Mr. Mantle is in deep for like $7,000. So he's already blown on it. He's a total waste. TT gets voted off. Jughead's confused. He shows up. How did that even happen? I'm thinking you didn't vote. Gotta vote. This is a message for voting, people. You gotta vote.
I think this is how they got Ilhan Omar off of the committee she was on.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how it happens.
Topical.
Gangs. We got Veronica calls for a house break. Goes over to Mr. Manold, says, we need another, well, he asked, he could use $5,000, if she wants to give him some money. What a piece of crap.
Yeah.
This guy's awful. And he's like, what are you going to do? Throw me out of my son's casino or embarrass me in front of these guys? It's like, she's just caught off guard at how much of a jerk he is.
This guy doesn't know how to run scams, side hustles, or loopholes.
That's right. No. Hilarious pranks.
At the high school, Cheryl comes in, slow-mo, new outfit, red floofy dress and thigh highs, carrying a basket of cookies. They're playing Baby Did a Bad, Bad Thing.
Archie Andrews. Just the He-Man I was looking for. Sorry I was so cold to you at Thornhill yesterday. May I interest you in an apology treat?
She goes around to each of the
Dearest Jug Duck. May I offer you a sugary sweet mea culpa for my foul mood yesterday? Sweet cousin. I come bearing gifts to mend her feelings.
She goes to the ROTC classroom. Of course, Archie's got his sweatshirt on, and his little nameplate says Sergeant Andrews. She wants to give him an apology treat, so she gives him a cookie. She goes over to the Blue and Gold, because that's after you graduate high school, you come back 10 years later and still sit in the same room. And I like this touch. He was already eating. Jughead was already eating something when she came in. But he's happy to have more cookies. Then she goes to the girl.
Would he not read her mind?
Apparently.
When she's like, here's some poison scones for you, Jughead.
Wow, I'm sure there's some reasonable explanation.
Yeah, that would have diminished.
All he was thinking about was food. Food.
Yum, yum, yum.
Goes to the garage where I forgot Betty was like teacher's shop or something.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, Cheryl?
And she says,
offering you an olive branch. Why won't you take one like your cohorts did?
What did you put in those scones? You're trying to poison me?
Betty looks at her and sees her red aura around her and knows something's up, because that's her superpower.
She's glowing.
I feel like if Cheryl's aura wasn't red, there'd be something wrong.
That's true.
Right.
Pantone Flame Scarlet aura.
Yeah. She realizes she's trying to poison them, so Cheryl/Abigail leaves, and Betty runs in to the ROTC room and says, "Don't eat that scone." And Archie has crumbs all over his face. He's like, "I already did."
I remember taking a screenshot of that because it was so funny. Of him just sitting there like, what?
Yeah, like he ate like Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
With crumbs all over the desk.
Yeah, it's like how did I don't think any of it is in his system anyway. He thinks he's okay because he's invulnerable, but I think it's because he eats like Cookie Monster. So she says, "Go get some salt and some water, and I'll meet you at the bathrooms." And she goes and gets Jughead. We get to Fangs and TT's apartment, and she says the serpents could be activists instead. She's trying to sell that to him, like, why don't we stop being a gang? And he is not having it. Fangs is not into that. He doesn't think they will be either.
He's really the only one that's still holding on to, yeah.
He's got the Fangs. Yeah. He's like, my literal name is Fangs. If you think I'm dropping the serpent stuff.
Everybody else has moved on. You know, Jughead and Sweet Pea and
he doesn't even wear his crown anymore.
That's true.
I'll bet Lugnut doesn't even write.
Probably not.
He doesn't even hang out with Tire Iron anymore. Mm-hmm. Baby Teeth got his real teeth in. She's like, maybe the FBI could help with the ghoulies, or we could just be good guys now. Right then, Kevin bursts down the door, busts the frame off the door, and they're here. There's a report of illegal weapons in here. And they find a big, huge bag of guns. Percival even has one of them sheriff's hats on with a star and everything. Like, he's full uniform now. Totally embedded.
They immediately find this giant bag of weapons. And then Tony is like, what the heck? Where the heck did those come from? And I'm like, you live in this little apartment and you have a giant bag of weapons. How do you not know they're there? He obviously did not hide them very well because they found them immediately.
It's ridiculous. They take her to jail. She asks Fangs, why'd you have a bag of weapons in our house with baby Anthony, of all places? And they were, what was his answer? You know, they were for a battle royale with the ghoulies. And all I could think was, do you have a battle royale at the El Royale? That's where I would have a battle royale.
The El Battle Royale.
Yeah. Twyla challenged him and he couldn't back down. So at Lodge, Reggie comes home and says, hey, Dad said he had a blast at the casino. She's like, yeah, we kind of had a thing, but I smoothed it over. She gave him money, probably. At Thornhill, Cheryl / Abigail says, I need some of TT's blood because this cookie thing didn't work out. I didn't kill anybody. But I need some of TT's blood for the ritual, and I still need a body. You know. So the Barched go over to Tabitha's in Jug's apartment. They're going to try. Betty says, why don't you try reading Cheryl's mind, Jughead, to see if PP made her do this. So at the school, Cheryl gives roses to Tony Topaz.
Ow! Oh no. Do those roses still have thorns? Or hand? Let me see.
Mm-hmm. And one of the thorns pricks her, and so Cheryl dabs the blood with a handkerchief. So she's got the blood now.
Pray tell, what ails you?
I got voted off the council. Fangs is in jail. And the ghoulies are determined to start war with the serpents.
Remind me again, what is the origin of your troubles with, the ghoulies?
Most recently. Well, Archie went ballistic on them after they blew up his house. For all I know, they're still trying to kill him. Probably planning another drive-by even as we speak.
The ghoulies wish to kill Archie? Tell me more about that.
And they start talking about the ghoulies wanting to kill Archie, and Cheryl's like, "Oh, really? That'd be nice, So she's got this information that the ghoulies are after Archie, Then we get in the car lot, the Mantle car lot.
The wise guys.
And first the dad is telling Reggie that he gambled the car lot away. He couldn't stop. He did that. So we'll go back to the TT's apartment. They're out of jail now, and of course, it's a wellness check for baby Anthony. The health or the child protective services or whatever goes there. Which this is where I'm like trying to catch up. But she flashes back. She has some deja vu, and she flashes back and remembers the social worker being there. I guess this is pre-explosion. Is that what that is, Jordan? Why would she flash back? This happened before or whatever.
Very curious.
Well, I mean, it's something's different. This has happened before, and I'm like, I don't remember.
Wasn't TT? TT was a social worker, right? She was.
Yeah.
Maybe
he was helping all the kids at the high school and like.
Yeah, well, she is a guidance counselor still.
Oh gosh, what was the monster lady from the lake?
Yeah, that's when it's from.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
But anyway, she's starting to remember something. But that's all we get.
Oh, like she's remembering a life from Riverdale? Is that what you're
saying? Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
That makes sense. That's the answer.
Perfectly clear. Yeah.
Baby, they go check on baby Anthony. He's not even in his bed. Gone out the window.
Kidnapped.
The window's open.
Yes.
That's just what we needed.
Add another tally to people going out the window.
Yes. At the El Royale, this is a great part. This is where I saw this scene multiple times because I was rewinding the following scene. But this next scene we have, as much as I hate to say this, I love to say it, and I hate to say it. I love to say that Cheryl was on the roof. But she was not doing the milkshake.
No.
So you didn't take a screenshot.
I was like, they did that on purpose. Put her on the roof so we could make the reference to the milkshake dance at Bob's. But she is on the roof dressed in a spiked red leather skin tight suit.
Oh my God.
Her hair back, licking her lips as she throws a Molotov cocktail at Archie.
Oh, Archibald.
My note was, Ghoulie Cheryl looks like a dreadnought.
Oh yeah, that's true.
She looks like a 1980s G.I. Joe villain.
Yes. I wrote. Mine says Archie gets Molotov cocktailed by leather goth vampire Cheryl.
On the roof is the biggest thing. It's the best part. Yeah. So that is quite. Anyone who has not watched Riverdale listening to this, that happened. We saw it. At Pops, there is a flyer. Someone hands someone a flyer, and it's so quick, I had to pause it 100 times in case there was anything on there. So what I could get from the one good spot that was
this is why we're so late recording tonight. So this is yes, made it all work.
Correct. Missing from Riverdale, New York.
What?
I wish you guys could see their faces. I just blew their minds with the reveal that Riverdale is in New York.
Wow.
I know. I was as stunned as anybody. I was like, I can't believe we finally get a definitive answer where Riverdale is.
Who else knows this? Who else paused at that exact moment?
No one. Because
no one else knows
because
this.
I'm telling you the truth. 100 pauses for one that I could read this flyer.
Wow.
It says, "Have you seen this baby?"
Last scene in the window.
Well, it says Anthony Topaz was last seen napping in his illegible something blue blanket at, and it gives the address, but it didn't matter. Baby Anthony is 6 months old, brown hair, brown eyes, brown skin, 21 inches tall, which is kind of freaky. They usually say long. 26 pounds. Call the sheriff's department, 914-555-0110.
Serpent tattoo on left forearm.
Yes.
Right. Then we get the next cut to bulletin board. Betty, as FBI experienced person, has the bulletin board. They have it broken out. I mean, this is just us. You don't see this. If you just watch it straight time, you barely see anything. But they've broken down into quadrants where they're going to search Riverdale. And there's lots of Post-its that I couldn't read, but I could read a few. One of the Post-its just says, "Focus on the task at hand." Which they cannot do in Riverdale ever. Then they got a lot of foot tracking notes, like talking about tracking footprints. There's a Post-it that says the chances of finding this baby. 1 to 5 hours, 32% chance. 4 to 6, 18 to 19. Why would you have this on there? Like, we're just going to let people know there's no chance. 25 to 48 hours, there's a 3% chance that they're going to find this baby. Oh, that's very disheartening. Meanwhile, Jughead
So if you are out there listening, if you are the production designer of Riverdale,
right,
and you ever hear that, just know we see you. We appreciate the work you put in, the detail.
Yes, I do.
Every set. You don't have a lot of sets. You have the El Royale, you have Pops, you have the
I started to write down the Pops menu because you could see half of it on the wall, but it was a lot of pancakes.
I mean, we gather in the same places over and over again, but that you never fail to make it interesting. So thank you, whoever you are, you unnamed hero.
I agree. Like, that's why this is my favorite part, is to find the details. So please, more. I want more. Back in the day, they really, whoever they were working on it, they were really laying it on all the extras. Anyway, Jughead strolling through reading minds to try to see if someone maybe that is guilty is in there, return to the scene of the crime type stuff, like checking in on him, see if he can read her mind. But mostly people are just complaining that this town isn't safe, how unfit a mother TT is. Rude. It's rude. She's a wonderful mother. Outside, Betty says Cheryl dressed as a ghoulie and threw a Molotov cocktail at you.
You had to see it to believe it.
It's like, Jughead, you need to go right now. Go talk to her and try to read her mind.
Is that what he says? It's hard to mistake Cheryl no matter what she's wearing.
Right.
It's like, they didn't believe it was Cheryl. I was like, no, we know it was Cheryl.
Right. So, but Betty's like, you need to go right now and go there and try to read her mind. And he's like, yeah, I hope I don't get killed. And I said out loud, I mean, this is moments later, people. I said out loud, focus on the task. We were just getting ready to go look for baby Anthony. And they're like, fuck it. We're going to go read Cheryl's mind. Oh.
Well, anytime a baby goes missing, you blame the witch first. That's suspect number one.
Always blame the witches. Yeah. Then you search through the ditches. Okay.
Burn through the witches. The ditches. In the back of my jalopy.
We did it, yes. At the casino, Reggie and Veronica are there. She's like, I'll talk to Geraldo's pals about this gambling stuff, and they got the car lot. And she's like, but Reggie, can you admit now that your dad has a problem? And he says, your dad blew up the town and you hung a portrait up of him in this office.
He's not wrong.
He is not wrong. I was like, wow, I just got a real reality check. Like, man, he put me and Veronica in our...
Reggie, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Right, because I was
Reggie's...
like really hating his dad. And then I was like, it's pretty holier than thou of me and Veronica.
Yeah.
To start acting like... anyway. At the White Worm, apparently they're closed after hours or before hours. I don't know. TT's sitting in there in the dark, and Twyla calls her. And she's we see on Twyla's end, she's in a phone booth, and there stands Percival Pickens in full deputy uniform, holding baby Anthony.
He stole the baby. This guy is no
Revealed.
good. No
Right.
good.
Crikey.
Maybe Percival stole your baby.
Wow, that's a lot. She says we're going to have a rumble. At where? I'll give you this much. It's at 10 o'clock, Cliff. Where do they want to have the rumble?
Sketch Alley.
I can't believe you didn't write this down.
I didn't write it down. I remember I don't remember where it was supposed to be.
Sketch Alley, first off, is an excellent guess.
Yeah.
And I would go so far as to say, I think that's probably the set they used was Sketch Alley. But no, I must inform you that the rumble will be in front of the tuna fish warehouse.
Wow.
I didn't even know there was a tuna fish warehouse on the docks.
Yeah, Tuna Fish Warehouse, New York. It's very famous.
Come armed.
Can't all be maple syrup. They got to have some difference.
Yeah.
She says, come armed, we will be. And that's when I knew it was going to be a battle royale. So the plan was TT is going to take the Serpents to the front of the tuna fish warehouse. And Tabitha Tate will be at Pop's waiting. And as soon as baby Anthony is delivered there, she'll call
Tony.
TT, and they will. It's really tough having two TTs.
It
Honestly,
is.
there's three TTs: Tabitha Tate, Thomasina Topaz, and Tony Topaz. Actually, I kind of love it, and I wish there was more TTs. At least we have a PP. So Reggie goes to the bad guys and asks to get the car lot. And that one guy's eyes are going two different directions. Like, when they were casting, they were like, just who had the most effed up eyes? You're hired. And they're just like very goons. They're just supposed to be goons. If they'd have been sitting there eating poutine or whatever
poutine.
that was, I would have totally expected that. Man, Papa Poutine, how.
Where have you been?
I feel enriched. I feel enriched.
Yeah.
By having watched all of these episodes of Riverdale, I can go back, recall Papa Poutine. Another PP, by the way.
Oh man.
Pretty soon our PPs will outnumber our TTs. You never want that.
Oh my gosh. So Reggie, though, he was freaking running liquor in high school. I can help you, he tells them. He's like, I got this. I am
a man of many
I'm
scams.
I'm so far from hilarious pranks. I can do all kinds of stuff. Oh, Thornhill. Jughead shows up. Britannia answers the door. He reads her mind that Abigail is getting ready to do some kind of ritual. And she's like, I can't say anything because, she'll read my mind, or she'll hear me, or whatever. And he's like, think it. If you just think it, I'll read your mind. So this is what she thinks. I'm living in a captive existence. Mistress Cheryl is asleep, and her ancestor Abigail Blossom has possessed her body. She's been trying to kill people, including you and your friends, on the eve of the blood moon. So Miss Topaz's soul will go into the corpse, and Thomasina can be reincarnated into Miss Topaz's empty body. And he's like, okay, bye. I'm out of here. He's like, so Tabitha's waiting at Pop's on the baby Anthony, and we see Kevin and another deputy, Walker, some blonde guys, sitting at the counter in their uniforms. And that guy's like, man, I wanted to be part of the turkey shoot.
Yeah.
He's like, he thought, kill some serpents. He's like, and she's like, what is that about? Kevin. This is the one that knocked me for a loop because it had been a while since I'd heard this detail. Kevin, Tony is still the mother of your child. And I was like, what? I thought baby Anthony was Fangs and Tony's kid.
We never found out.
Please. We never found out what? Like,
who the
how
father
did we ever
was.
think it was? Why did we think it was Kevin's kid?
Because everyone was gay. We didn't know whose kid it was because everyone involved is gay at some point.
At some point.
At some point. Everyone's gay at some point.
The Dale.
Okay, I just didn't know. I don't know. I didn't remember.
I don't remember. Were they making a big deal out of the secret, or they just never bothered to tell us?
They just never bothered to tell us. It was just.
Or why do they think that? Why don't they think it's anybody's? Why don't they think it's Archie's kid? Why, I don't understand why it's supposed to be Kevin's.
Well, they're saying it. They're
just
referencing
they lived together.
Yes, they were all three of them were a polyamorous
throuple. Yeah, they were like a throuple there for a while.
Right.
I can't keep up, and I try harder than anybody. So that threw me for a loop. Tabitha calls TT at the tuna fish warehouse, and she says it's a trap turkey shoot.
And Tony, you have to get out of there. I think you walked into a trap.
What?
It's the sheriff and his deputies. They're out for blood. Kevin told me it's going to be a turkey shoot. Don't let it become one.
I'll call you right back. Everyone, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here right now.
And you hear sirens. Sheriff Keller and Percival Pickens get out. PP says, you're resisting arrest, even though they weren't doing anything. And she gets, this one really threw me for a loop too.
Serpent, put your weapons on the ground and put your hands in the air. And don't give them a reason to shoot. That's exactly what they want.
You heard of the Serpents of resisting arrest?
The hell we are. And I'm live streaming this right now, you scumbag. So be careful what you do, because the whole world is watching.
This was a technology use that is very not Riverdale. Mm-hmm. She gets her phone out and records this. So
she's
that
live streaming.
Yeah, so they cannot just shoot. Yeah, she is live streaming.
Yeah.
She's like, you're telling the whole world, so we're laying down our weapons and everybody can see. Yeah. So this was very topical. At the casino, Reggie is kind of cagey with Veronica about his dad, but he just tells her it's taken care of, Barched, Jug says Cheryl needs her help now that he knows what's going on. So they go to Thornhill, but Betty goes to the door. This is good. Abigail / Cheryl opens the door. Betty's got mascara running down her face, and Cheryl says, "Cousin, why for this crying?" Because already Cheryl talked crazy like this, but now she also has to talk old-timey because she's Abigail. That's great. Betty says, Archie, he's dead, burned alive by a ghoulie. So she make her think she killed him. Yeah. Which is impossible because he's invulnerable.
That's right.
Couldn't kill him with the cookies. How do you think you're going to kill him with a Molotov cocktail?
Couldn't kill him with a bear.
She says, follow me into the parlor and I'll put on a kettle, cousin. And Betty chloroforms her, of course. FBI, standard carry, chloroform. Yep. At the jail, PP to TT. Tabitha Tate posted bail for you, so you're gonna get out. We found your son in a ghoulie lair. It was a bloodbath. Only Twyla escaped. So what the hell happened there? He went there and killed everybody except
killed
Twyla,
all the ghoulies. Yeah, the cops did.
Yeah. So baby Anthony is safe
with his
father.
Come up with a version of a cab for Riverdale.
All dads are bad.
All cops are ragamuffins or something. I can't come up with that.
I like all dads are bad. Let's see. Abigail awakens from her chloroform, tied to a stake, as she predicted, by the way.
Yeah, you bet.
You dare burn me again, Betty says, as many times as it takes, bitch.
Black Betty, bang, bang.
She should have had the wig on.
Yes. Bring the wig back.
Because they were pulling out all the stops. We had Nana Rose sitting there holding a doll of Jason. She had the Jason doll and chanting in a foreign language as the rest of them chanted. And Betty is kind of doing it in English. I could pick up a few words about burning the fire, the element of your original destruction, banish from this fleshy vessel. Spirit, we compel you, leave her. And Annabelle screams. We go over to the El Royale for just a sec as Percival replaces TT on the council in a unanimous vote. Because, again, they're not there to vote.
Right.
Yeah.
Guys, make time to vote. Back at the stake, Abigail says, you're all going to die for this. And the fire blows out. Nana Rose, in her one good eye, she drops the doll of Jason, says, it twitched in my hand.
In my hand.
And supposedly Cheryl is back. Yeah. And they all seem suspicious that Abigail went into the Abigail doll. Right?
Yeah, the creepy doll.
Good thing they have these creepy dolls lying around.
Yeah, there's multiple dolls.
They've gotten so much use out of that creepy doll.
So then
it was Julian.
Yeah, it was Julian was there.
Yeah.
But then soon after, let's go. First we go to the sheriff's office. Kevin hands baby Anthony to TT, but he's filing for primary custody, which sucks. What a jerk. He's worried about gang.
A cab, all Kevins are.
Oh yeah, there you go. All Kellers now are bad. At the car lot, the gamblers are all having fun just in the office there. Reggie's happy for his dad getting to sit there and gamble, and he remembers that his dad back to a doctor's appointment where the doctor told Reggie that his dad only had a year or two to live. So whatever he can do to enjoy himself, let him. Even if it's gambling himself and his business away. Then we get a call from who? Our literal favorite person.
Dr. Curdle Jr.
Dr. Curdle Jr. calls Betty. 22 ghoulies dead. self-inflicted gunshot wounds. He did the autopsy. They killed themselves. At Thornhill, they lock the Abigail doll away in a case because they think that that's, saving them, but they haven't thought about the fact that she's possessing Jason's doll, I'm sure.
So it's just Jason's doll with a wig, right? It's the same doll?
No,
it's
two
a different
dolls.
doll? There's two dolls.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think, because his says JB on it, his thing. But you could be right. I didn't check that out. I didn't pause. First off, the main thing I have to point out is the outfits in this. Britannia, Nana Rose, and Cheryl are all dressed in coordinated outfits for this scene. All black and red checkerboard, like some sort of gothic picnic tables. And it was amazing. Like, they pull out all the stops for this for 10-second scenes. And that's what amazes me. Most of these scenes are like 10 seconds, and they go all out in wardrobe for every single one. And then back at the Andrews house, someone says, so basically Percival Pickens is now the Ram. He's trying to take over the town. And Archie says, nope, he wants to destroy it. We get credits.
The stakes have never been higher.
Oh, they've never burned so brightly.
Actually, that kind of tracks.
That's exciting.
There was some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Cheryl, dressed as a vampire ghoulie on top of Pops.
Oh, I watched that multiple times.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to rewind that, and she's like licking her lips as she throws this Molotov cocktail. It was like, what are you doing? Sing Milkshake while you're up there.
Oh, shoot.
Why for art that her boy is coming to my yard?
I feel like we're back, guys. I feel like we're back in the groove. Riverdale's in our blood. It'll never leave us.
Oh, we can do a ritual.
Slowly but surely, we'll get to every second.
Road trip to New York.
Oh, yeah, now that we know what state Riverdale is in.
Years trying to pinpoint where the heck
there was
it was.
Theories online. People were figuring it out. We thought it was in Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, somewhere in that vicinity, Indiana-ish, something north. We knew it was north.
Yep.
We just didn't know it was that far east. That's crazy. He was in the woods. I guess there's a lot of upstate New York. There's maybe some woods. He's up there with his dog.
Yeah.
Is it Vegas?
Where are bears indigenous?
There's bears in them there woods. They have a lot of bears in New York.
Bears and men dressed up as bears.
This is pre-cocaine bear too, because otherwise they would have totally had
Jingle jangle bear.
Jingle jangle bear. Why didn't they do jingle jangle bear? Oh, jingle jangle bear. There you go.
The sad thing is, they're already filming this final season, so I'm guessing this show is already written.
Yeah.
So it's done. We can't give them any more good ideas. They can't. There's nothing more in pop culture they can take because they're probably wrapping it all up.
Yeah.
How sad.
That's
what a sad thought to end on. But we've still got plenty to cover, and we hope you'll come back. I was just looking at my notes for the next episode, man. Woo. Nana Rose,
tell me.
Dr. Curdle.
Don't tell me anymore. I don't want to know.
A boxing match. We got to get back to that.
Oh, man.
I don't want to know any of that. No previews.
That's fun stuff, and we'll have it all for you next time on Ka-Pow, the Pop Culture Podcast. My name's Jordan Lowe.
Cliff Barnes.
I'm Seth. Bye forever.
Ka-Pow, the Pop Cultured Podcast, is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Sounds, music, and clips played during the podcast are property of copyright holders. All original content is property of www.udownwithkpp.com. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave a comment. Ka-Pow, the Pop Cultured Podcast, can be found on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, and wherever podcasts can be found. You can connect with us through social media on Facebook, YouTube, at the Ka-Pow Podcast on Twitter, or email the show, Ka-Pow, the Pop Cultured Podcast, at gmail.com. If you really want to go the extra mile, join our Patreon at patreon.com/udownwithkpp for special content and access to Patreon-only benefits. We are grateful for anyone who chooses to contribute, but please know that most of our content will remain free. So please continue to like, comment, and share.